It's a new year, but it's the same old results for Livingston. But do not fear, we've seen something we haven't seen in a long time, and that is penalty to the team playing Rangers. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football for your SPFL review show. And we hear how Rangers have the referees and the officials in their pockets, how they have all the brothers in their churches, and how the referees are just there and being paid to make sure Rangers win. Essentially, it's pay to play for Rangers, but that's not the case. We've seen now 2 games in a row where Rangers have been on the end of dodgy decisions. Obviously, the Old Firm game, we've spoken enough about that, so I'm not going to go into detail, although there will be a few more Fids ranting about it in the near future. But then we've seen today where there was a penalty given to Kilmarnock, and I don't think the referee read the script here. Yes, it's at Ibrox. Yes, a penalty needs to be given. It's mandatory. A penalty at Ibrox is a must. It's like Desser's being shite. You just expect it to happen. But we didn't expect Kilmarnock, Derek McInnes. Maybe they got it wrong. Maybe they thought Derek McInnes was the Rangers manager and they gave it to the wrong team. I don't know what happened, but the officials broke an over 2-year streak. This was like an Undertaker-like streak, and it came to an end today at Ibrox when Kilmarnock were the team awarded the penalty and not Glasgow Rangers.
Yep, massive penalty decision. Was it a penalty? We'll get to it a wee bit later.
No, we're going to talk about League One or Championship.
Aye. That league. Let's talk about Dunk, because he gets sent off again.
Dunk likes a red card.
Yep, he's never shied away from one.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts. What did he get sent off for?
Dunkin' for reds.
I'm going to assume it was
headbutt,
slabbering.
Who knows?
Anything, but they got beat 2-0, so...
See, if you could bet on Duncan Ferguson get sent off every game, you'd be in the money.
No, you would. I think this is his first game back, isn't it?
And I just think long term that's always going to hold him back, in my opinion. Like, I get it, right? I want an aggressive manager. I want someone like that old school type mentality. But you can't be getting sent off every fucking game.
Aye, if he could come back and manage Rangers for an Old Firm and try and get a fucking win against Celtic, the game that matters, maybe, alright, one time a season.
Do you think he would be as good as like an assistant manager?
I think he would be, aye.
Who is Philippe Clement's assistant?
I don't know. Some Belgian guy.
We should probably get this guy in. Send him back to Belgium. He can make chocolate or something and get Big Duncan in. But yeah, the 2-0 win for Airdrie. I predicted Airdrieonians to win this one, and they continue their good run of form, and I believe this takes them up into the playoff promotion positions. We then move to Arbroath at the Gayfield Park, and what do you expect? Moult with a double, Middleton we won. Easy win for Dundee United. Not a lot to say there. We knew Dundee United would win this, and there was no goalkeeping heroics, no 25-yard screamers, unfortunately, this time around.
No, there wasn't, and Tony Watt scored a hat-trick last time. Quiet today.
Yeah, Tony Watt.
I like it quiet.
Maybe he was too busy doing his wee streaming on YouTube, playing FIFA, but who knows? I think this is the difference between Dundee United and Raith Rovers. Both of them have played Arbroath.
We get more views than Tony Watt.
Yeah, we do. That's what?
What?
Stone Cold Steve Austin say. What's that all about? Anyway, point is, Dundee United and Raith Rovers have both played Arbroath here in the last few days. Raith Rovers threw away a 2-0 lead. Dundee United have smashed them 3-0.
They have, but Raith did win 2-1, but here they didn't have a wonder goalie against them today, did they?
No, they didn't. They won the day, but my whole point was, look at both teams, how they performed against Arbroath, alright? I think that tells you who's going to win the league. And I know they're one-off games.
It's a one-off game, man. Celtic drew against St Johnstone when they're mince.
So what you're saying is Raith Rovers are going to win the league?
Doesn't mean anything.
There you go. What does it mean, though? Raith Rovers 2, Dunfermline 1. Ben Summers scored for Dunfermline, but it wasn't enough because a brace for Daniel O'Reilly. And I'm sure this guy probably supports Celtic. I'm just going to throw it out there with that name.
Potentially.
I don't think there's any potential about it. I think it's...
Here comes the sun. Ben Summers, no?
I'll tell you what, though, 8,400... That's in the champ.
Right, it's a Fife derby, man. That's to be expected.
I know, but that's a great attendance.
Well, it's to be expected.
We need Dunfermline back in the Premier League. And if they're going to get those numbers with Rafe, get them back in as well.
Get them on. All in favour of every Championship club getting promoted, apart from...
Is there a case for...
Dundee United?
Is there a case for expanding the Premier League?
Yes.
Maybe not even to 20 or 18 teams, but...
16.
Could we expand it to 16?
14? 15 work?
Could you do 14
No, 15
and everybody plays each other 3 times?
Why not? I'd rather that.
Is that 39 games?
I thought it's an awkward one, isn't it, though?
What's wrong with 39?
Just doesn't happen, does it?
Is that a bad number?
I guess you could change it with another split, couldn't you? And it means you actually don't. You could play 38.
True, but the thing is, if you're only playing each other 3 times, that's one less Old Firm. How would they decide? You can imagine that. One, you know what I mean? Who gets 2 home games?
That's a bogey. There's no point talking about
especially with that's an even bigger deal now with the fact there's no away fans.
Yeah.
So I don't think anything like that's going to happen.
Ideal world, you'd want 20 teams or 18 and play each other twice.
True. Now, they do say that it makes it better by expanding the league, but if you're adding shitier teams to your top flight, how is that making your top flight better? Answer that. I can see both arguments, but you look at all the best leagues in the world, and they're all leagues with 18 or 20 teams in them, so...
Well, automatically, for me, it makes it more competitive because the Old Firm aren't playing the same teams 4 times, they're playing them twice, and therefore Hearts, Aberdeen, Hibs wouldn't be losing as much points to the Old Firm, potentially.
They'd be closer to the Old Firm?
Yeah, they'd be, every team would be closer. If you know, if you look at La Liga, right, if Barcelona and Real Madrid played every team 4 times, more often than not, they would never struggle. I know they never really do, but I think if that was the case, Atletico Madrid probably wouldn't have won the league. The last couple, Atletico Madrid's a good team. Same with Man City. Yeah, I think you play...
But the more Atletico play Barca and Real, the less likely they would be to win the league.
Yeah. I know, I think absolutely.
It's not saying they can't beat them, but the likelihood is the more times Atletico would play Barca and Real head-to-head, the head-to-head is going to favour Real
Look
and
at
Barca.
Man United, under Ten Hag, they haven't beat anyone in the top 10 away from home since he's come in. Imagine if they were playing 4 times a season like that, 2 games away, they'd be humped.
They'd be relegated.
No, they probably would be. So, yeah, I want 20. That's the ideal for me.
We'll make it happen. Why can't we?
There's no excuse why it can't happen.
Why do all the shite leagues tend to have 12 or 10? Like League of Ireland, non-Irish league, Welsh league. Then you look at all the a lot of European leagues have 12 teams. Like I think the Swedish league has 12.
It's never going to happen though.
Why? No, but why is it? Do you think do all the best leagues happen to be 18 or 20? Is that coincidence?
Why did the Premier League go for 24 to 20? I mean, that's all these questions could be
24 is a hard number, isn't it? Like, who wants to play 40?
Championships got 24.
True.
So, I mean,
and they do say this. They say the Championship's the most competitive league.
They do.
So is there something to do with competitiveness and numbers? Potentially, anyway. Speaking of the numbers, it's another 3 points for Greenock Morton. At one point, we believed that they were looking like they were going down. They looked like they had no hope. Duncan Ferguson came in and he got Inverness a couple of wins, took them off the bottom. Greenock Morton replaced them. Wasn't looking good for Greenock Morton. It wasn't looking good for Chris's Morton's TV. But it's looking pretty good now. We have Robbie Moore hat-trick and a convincing 3-0 win that I think takes Greenock Morton, I believe, up into 6th place.
Well, we'll look at it in a wee minute, because Partick Thistle beat Queen's Park 3-2. The Spiders, the web has burst.
I think Partick Thistle are going to have a lonely campaign this season. It's looking like third. I don't think anyone's good enough to catch them, and Partick just don't look good enough to catch the 2 teams ahead of them. So.
I totally agree. So let's look at this league table then. Ooh.
Cough if you want a penalty to go to Rangers. But let's look at the Championship table. We have Raith Rovers hanging on to top spot, 3 points ahead of Dundee United, but that game in hand will be crucial. And I hope Raith Rovers do continue to take the fight to Dundee United, but unfortunately, I do feel like it's just a matter of time before United get ahead and stay ahead. I hope I'm wrong, but I just think this United team is too strong for anybody in the Championship. Partick Thistle, just in no man's land at the moment. They will probably finish third. I'd be surprised if they don't. They just look like they're going to see out third place. And then that leaves a bunch of teams fighting for the last playoff place. Airdrie, Dunfermline, Greenock Morton, all separated by just 2 points. Then a little bit further back with Ayr, Inverness and Arbroath. And then further back we have Queen's Park. But I think it's going to be tight for that 4th place. I could see the two promoted sides getting it, Airdrie and Dunfermline. I can see one of them getting it. But I think there's only one spot up for grabs between probably about many teams, maybe 5 teams. I'd say Airdrie, Dunfermline, Greenock, Ayr and Inverness, Caledonian, Thistle.
I'd say so too. I mean, it's very close to call, but when you look at Airdrie's away form and most teams' away form, it's shocking. That's what sets it's part for them. I mean, the 4 wins is crucial. Everyone else away just seems to be dropping the ball, but for Queen's Park, I think it's. I mean, 1 win at home in 9. Come on,
That's relegation form.
fucking relegation.
Just
form.
just
I'm
ask.
going to finish 11th in a 10-team
Just
league.
ask Livingston.
Just ask Livingston, but let's ask the Premiership boys, because St Mirren got pumped 3-0. We talked about it earlier.
And I don't want to talk about it anymore.
So let's just wrap it up.
Celtic win. Ice cream and jelly. Title number 54, I believe.
It would be.
Title 54. Closing in on Rangers. I mean, what are Rangers fans going to do when Celtic overtake them? For titles, for overall titles. It's just not going to be good.
Quad's still on, alright?
The only thing Rangers have is the fact they've done 9 in a row. But they didn't do it first. And they've only done it once compared to Celtic's twice. So why is Rangers' 9 in a row spoken about as if it's more prestigious than Celtic's too? Can anyone explain that to me?
Who speaks like that though?
Rangers' 9 in a row is considered better.
Well, here I think the last set. I think. Well, I can't. I don't know the fucking first Celtic 9 in a row.
Was it not in the 60s into the 70s?
Well, Big Jock knew,
Jock's
didn't
team.
he? So I mean, let's move on.
Oh, so it's a tainted 9.
well,
well, you.
out of the 3 of them, I'd say Celtic's most recent one's the most tainted.
But they're both tainted.
Well, I mean, we can talk about
What
Big
about
Jock
Rangers
now,
and their
but-
money and the buying players they couldn't afford, and for every $5 Celtic spend, we'll spend a tenner? Was that no kind of like taintedness?
I know, but that wasn't really 90s. That was more later on. I don't know how long that money problem stems
Plus, Rangers didn't really beat Celtic. They beat separate entity, didn't they? They beat Pacific Shelf, so did they competition?
Aye. But I wonder if Big Jock flew to Big Jeffrey Epstein's Island in the Pacific Ocean while it was Pacific Shelf.
Let's just move on.
Let's just move on. That's plenty. Let's move on. Hibs 2 each against Motherwell. Crucial goal. Nick Montgomery's doing nothing for me. I'm sorry. He doesn't even look that good compared to what's that retard called? The guy just got Lee Johnson.
Lee Johnson.
What's Lee Johnson did better than Big Mick?
I think the problem with Nick Montgomery is
He's
the longer he's there, the worse things seem to be getting. I think when he came in, his first 6, 7, 8 games, he was looking pretty decent. I think after the first 6, 7, 8 games, you looked at it and you thought, Hibs are playing better than the results that they're getting. But now, I don't. They're probably getting the results they deserve, and they ain't getting great results. I mean, they were lucky today to get a point.
Big Don.
Late Johan goal, 2 Johan goals to be exact. Grabbing Hibernian a point. Feel a bit bad for Motherwell because it would have been 2 wins in a row, and we know that Stuart Kettlewell could have done with this win to relieve some pressure, but they'll take that. Beating relegation rivals Livingston and then getting a point at Easter Road. That's a good 4 points out of a possible.
I just think Hibs are getting weaker every season. It's not quite the team Lennon had, is it?
No. Could we see a return for Lennon at Hibernian?
Potentially. Let's talk about this. Lawrence Shankland missing penalties to keep his value down. I like it.
Lawrence Shankland, he misses for the spot, but he didn't miss in the 64th minute. He got Hearts into a 2-0 lead. Andrew Shinnie pulled one back for Livy. Fortunately, though, he didn't get any more. Hearts see a 2-1 win. Another good win for Hearts. Another win that sees Hearts move further ahead in 3rd place. And a defeat that really puts not the final nail in the coffin, but there's not many nails left to go in. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, the pre-mark bag has burst, that Davy Martindale would say. Also, Dundee's good game got postponed today, so any thoughts on that? No, so let's move on to the big thoughts. So, was it a penalty at Ibrox? Did you see the incident? Don't lie.
I didn't see the incident.
So we're only basing it off the Rangers guy's opinion?
Aye.
Right, so let me just put it into perspective. Ball gets whipped in. His arm's a wee bit... It's in a natural position, but it's not in his body. It hits his elbow. Big John goes to the monitor, points to the spot. Penalty. My problem with this is we've seen them not given. So what? I honestly, like Clement said after the game, he needs the handball rule explained to him, and I think we all do. They pick and choose when to give these handballs. And I'm not just saying this because against Rangers. I mean, we can talk about Alistair Johnston's, handball or whatever, right? But the fact of the matter is, it wasn't given because of offside. It was given because they thought it was a fucking natural position.
Alright, let's not go on about that here. So your
No,
thoughts?
it's relevant because how can you give this but not that?
No, what's relevant is I predict a 3-1 win for Rangers, and that came in. So
Yeah.
I'm the man.
And also, I'm not going to pretend, like, great result, right? Beating an informed Kelly team, but I'm not going to put a fucking smile on my face and pretend that life's brilliant. Oh, we've got Dessers. Seema, right? Great goal. McCausland, great goal. Great pass for Dessers, and a decent goal for Cantwell. Where was it Saturday? Pipe bomb.
Where was it when it mattered?
Where is it? Pipe bomb. I'm sick of pretending that because they beat Kilmarnock 3-1, oh, it's fantastic. Well, no, where was it Saturday? Where was this fucking front line? Nah, I praise McCausland. I thought he was the only guy showing something against Celtic.
Well, in fairness, on Saturday they were playing Celtic and not Kilmarnock.
No, I'm not accepting that.
What do you mean? I kind of have to accept.
No, Desser's arse fucking collapsed against Celtic. It's not like he just played pish, his arse went. And we can also look back to the 3-0 Celtic win against St Mirren. Rangers have got a hand in that 3-0 win. You may be thinking, how have they got a hand in it? Because they didn't put the fucking pressure on when it mattered. See if Rangers go to Celtic Park and actually turn up with their scud worth players. They're worth peanuts, even though they're worth 5 million. They put pressure on, get a result. Maybe Celtic drop the ball. But see the fact they pumped Rangers and it's Rangers fans have been crying about decisions. That's why they went and scored 2 early goals against St Mirren, yes or no? If the pressure was on Celtic, could their arse not have went?
Well, it's more likely to drop points, I mean, but whatever.
Rangers have only got themselves to blame. I'm not going to fucking pretend that this win against Kelly is fantastic. Good result, but what was it when it mattered?
It would have been better if Celtic dropped points, but yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Rangers, they win, but nothing's changed.
No, I've seen
anything. Celtic have increased the goal difference, so
yeah, exactly. Which I blasted in the review because they could have increased it by more, couldn't they? But they didn't.
But yeah, it's a difficult game for Rangers and they won, so I think that's the main thing.
They did win.
From a fan perspective, so yeah, let's look at the league table then. It's still -8 in Glasgow. It's chilly for Rangers fans, but they have
2 pairs of gloves.
Yeah, they've got 2 layers to put on, and hopefully those layers come in handy and raise the temperature by 6. Hearts now looking good for 3rd place. Game in hand over the teams that are directly behind them, Kilmarnock and St Mirren. I think I'm confident now in saying that Hearts will get 3rd place. They're looking like a team that will pick up results. They've got Lauren Shankland.
Baby.
If Hearts keep Lauren Shankland in January, I don't see them not finishing 3rd.
No, it's pish though.
If Hearts lose Lauren Shankland though, that's a totally different story altogether.
I mean, at home, Hearts have scored 11 goals and conceded 10.
Yeah, no, that's shite. It's fucking shite. There's no doubt about it. It's no good enough. Averaging, 1.1 goals a game at
Their home record's pants. Who are we trying to kid on here?
No, it's not good enough. 100% it's not good enough. The waveform's decent.
Yeah.
The waveform's decent if they could have that, carry that into the home games. But they're just not scoring enough goals. It's not the exciting, free-flowing football that Stephen A. Smith promised.
No.
And I just think without Shankland, how many points would you take off that 36?
A lot. You would take a lot off it.
Yeah, I mean, Hearts could literally be... I'm not even exaggerating. They could be down beside Dundee and Aberdeen easily.
And this isn't even another problem here. I think there's just a mess of the league because so many games have been postponed. So many teams are out of sync. I like it when everyone's got the same amount of games played.
Same.
And not just from a Rangers perspective, right? Because you've Dundee and Aberdeen on 18, and then you've Kelly, St Mirren, Celtic and co on 22. 4 extra games to play. How are they going to squeeze that in?
It's going to be tough. Unfortunately, a team that needs extra games but don't really have any available is Livingston.
Unless you can buy them in Primark.
Yeah, well, maybe. But yeah, no, Livingston have actually played games more than the teams above them, Ross County and St Johnstone. So I'm just looking at this league table. I think Livingston are down. It's hard to make a case to see them coming back. I believe after 4 games, they had 2 wins.
Yeah.
I think they had 2 wins, a draw, and a defeat after 4 games. And, things just haven't really got much better for them, obviously, in the last 17 games. I don't think they picked up a single victory. It's just, I just don't see them doing it.
No.
I mean, they would need to win a couple of games. They probably need to win 3 games in a row to get themselves out of this situation, because the likes of Ross County, St Johnstone, they're going to be picking up points as well. These teams ain't going to stand still for Livingston to catch them. So I think Livingston are down. I know we're in the transfer window. They did sign a big striker, some big Australian guy, but
they need more.
They need fucking prime Henry or something, I think, to get them out of this situation.
Can Martindale not just go begging to Rangers and be like, can you not just loan me a few of your players?
Like Dessers?
Aye. I'd take him to go on loan. No, but would Rangers not loan him out? Like, I mean, I'm trying to think who's pish. I mean, pretty much the whole squad. So no, but I mean, he's got a wee connection with Rangers. Tav does what Tav does, man.
What, his name money?
It's a good one. He's baldy like the manager. I don't fucking know.
Anyway,
He always lies down to Rangers, like Celtic fans always say. So why not? Can Rangers not lie down to him and give him a few players? No, through the back door. Keep the plastic pitch alive, baby.
Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, guys, that's it. There's the league table. It is what it is. I don't like it with all these different games played. It's hard to actually look at it and realise what the true positions of these teams are.
Yep.
Like, for example, I mean, Aberdeen and Dundee both have 2 games in hand over Hibs, but they're 3 points behind. Is it fair to assume that Dundee and Aberdeen will pick up at least, one win with their 2 games in hand? So it's sick for really a fair position for Hibernian. And then if you look above them, St Mirren and Kilmarnock, they played 2 games extra. Could Hibs win a couple of their games in hand and go above those
Well,
two?
one of them's at home against Rangers, so
I mean, it's difficult. Had Aberdeen, Dundee and Hibernian all played 22, it could be incredibly tight between Kelly, St Mirren, Hibs, Dundee and Aberdeen.
Yep.
But we just don't know right now because the different amount of games played. So hopefully these games get played as soon as possible. I would like to hope by the end of February we can get every team pretty much on the same amount. You don't want to leave it any later than that.
But see, I think that's the problem with the winter break. I don't know. I mean, it's like
Should they not use the winter break if teams that need to play their game in hand, if they're against each other, I would be using the winter break.
I think the question should be at least asked. I think the SFA should ask these clubs: do you want to play some of them during the winter break to ease congestion towards the end? Because it could get messy. I mean, it really could. I mean, fucking 4 games. Also, bear in mind, probably more games will get postponed because of weather. So, what are you going to do? I mean, if say Aberdeen somehow made it into Europe next
And what
round,
about Rangers being in Europe? Could Rangers games, if they've got any midweek games scheduled with them being in Europe, if that's postponed, let's say Rangers are playing against Aberdeen or Dundee, those clubs could be looking at another postponed game, and then before you know it, they've played 5 games less than some of the teams that are above them.
It's crazy. It's crazy times, guys. But that is us done for the winter break. We have an SPFL transfer roundup every day. Josh Deutsch to Rangers, I hear you say. Skint, 5.5 million. What's that all about? Till next time. Peace.